Welcome to the 6th edition of the Deely's Dilemmas Performance Questions. This time we're going to look at the role of the goalkeeper and goalkeeping coaching within the team session. We've got Ross Bennett, Mullane, Stevie, Poacher speaking about how to integrate the goalkeeper into your session, the role of that keeper, some of the roles and responsibilities. Also then we'll do a follow-up standalone with the great Liam Swift, who's coached many county teams, both women and men, on shot stopping within the session. And then lastly we've got my good friend Chris Kerr, former Antrim football goalkeeper, maybe future Antrim football goalkeeper, speaking about the mentality and psychological aspect of the goalkeeper. Okay, really interesting stuff, hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.
Hi, Ross Bennett here. Next instalment of Deely Dilemmas, following on from Stevie Poacher's blog around the change and the demand and the requirements of a goalkeeper now, and how it's evolved over the last 10-20 years even. So I think it's important to say in any sport now, whether it be soccer, football, Gaelic, the importance and the demand of the technical aspects of the goalie is huge, especially with playing out distribution. So a large focus and emphasis has to be put on that within the training program. The variation of passing required, whether that's dropping it short into fullbacks, whether it's clipping to wing backs, trying to go around the press, or whether it's trying to find a midfielder in a pocket of space with a good bit of movement, but also the ability to go long when they can. So that long kick is still important to be able to find the centre forward if you've drawn all the opposition in. That variation will give you more chance of success in trying to play out, and it's the same in soccer as well. I think in terms of the training aspect though, it's really important that we provide the goalie with some high level technical training with the team at times, so not just with the specialist, but also working with the goalkeeper coach for those big moment saves, which are still equally as important. I know comparing Gaelic and soccer, the soccer goalie does a lot more in terms of saves, coming to collect for crosses, but in Gaelic it's those big moments that could maybe avoid goals that could be the difference between winning and losing the match. So definitely specialist training is important, and learning how to save, making yourself big, coming to collect high ball, but there's real emphasis now on the technical demand for the goalie. So good supporting angles when we're in possession gives you an extra man in possession, especially when you're trying to recycle. We call it playing around the arc, but trying to play round the back line to create an opening to play through if you can't hit the midfield or further. But then the variation of distribution is essential now for the goalkeeper. So some of the better technicians are starting to drift in goal, I'm sure, but we have to make sure these goalies are up to the scratch. Cheers, guys.
Hey coaches, Barry here from Deely Sports Science. This is just a very quick video on the hurling goalkeeper, how the role has changed in recent years. So it's not just about making saves, hitting it long and hoping to win primary possession, although there is still a place for that. It's about accurate puck outs, it's about creating attacks, it's about almost playing as a fly keeper or an extra offender in many cases. The goalies today need to be deadly accurate, highly skilled and really quick decision makers in highly pressurised situations.
Hi coaches, just a quick message for Daily Sports Science about the innovation of the modern day number 1. I wrote a few weeks ago in a Daily Sport blog about how number 1 had become the new number 11. Not necessarily technically to do with the jersey, but number 11 was always a jersey that everyone wanted to wear. I suppose Stephen Cluxton has made the number 1 jersey sexy again for young people. I was at a recent under 17 club game here locally in Newry, watching my nephew playing for the local club, And the young goalkeeper was coming out the field on kickouts, he was pressing kickouts, he was directing play, he was coming out the field and linking play, he was trying to place his kickouts. Absolute revelation of the modern day goalkeeper, and it has come from Stephen Cluxton. Over the last number of years, obviously, we've seen that progress and grow. We've seen Calvin go with Gallagher, an outfield player. We've seen a number of club teams use outfield players in goals. We've seen county teams now like Tyrone and Monaghan with Morgan and Began just take it to a completely new level. And one of the greatest innovations actually has been from kick-out presses. Actually not the goalkeeper's own kick-out, but actually the opposition's. And something I'm just going to show you on the tactics board here now. So when Tyrone played Donegal and Sean Patton had the ball here looking for a kick-out, Tyrone used their extra man in this pocket of the space on the halfway line. But what they also did with Niall Morgan was they brought him out and gambled. And it's high-stakes poker. But I suppose in high-stakes poker, if you win, you get large rewards. And it's exactly the same thing here. And what happened in the second half was they blocked off all sorts of kick-out channels that Donegal had, and they forced Sean Patton then to try and place some shorter kick-outs, because one of Patton's greatest strengths is this kick-out, long trajectory into the space to launch attacks, because kick-outs are obviously the launch pad for attacks. And I suppose if we go back to Cluxton, and we put Cluxton in the goals, Dublin had been down to 14 men when they played Kerry in 2018. And what Dublin done when they went with a full press, so when Dublin went with their 3 backs of 5, as they normally like to do, across, and left players nearly unmarked at times here, back here. And what actually they did very, very well that day, or what Cluxton did very well that way, was Cluxton actually came out and marked the Kerry corner forward when Dublin were down to 14 men in that final in 2018. Remarkable piece of innovation, and number 1 certainly has become popular.